This week on Plebs of the Week, 3-1 doesn't go at the Chicane of Death. We have some weird starts at Watkins Glen. Look at this. And, well, great racing. This is fantastic racing. Make sure you check out the end. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Plebs of the Week. Now if you do enjoy this video, give it a like and subscribe. And if you don't like dirty driving or bad driving, turn off now. And first up then, we're in Daily Race A. AFC has submitted this one. They're up ahead here at the Nürburgring Daily Race A then as we go into the final section. So what's going to happen here? Well, we've got the Subaru here of Zlatanik there going on the brakes, just trying to control the car. Remember, the weight shifts a lot in this car. Unfortunately, they do tag AFC there and cause a crash. However, this is fantastic stuff to see. They wait up. So all they did there was make a mistake with the weight transfer, but they rectify that mistake by waiting up for AFC. Beautiful sportsmanship. Well played there to both of you, and we carry on racing. Right, Daily Race B then. So Chicane of Death this week, so we're going to have quite a lot of victims, let's be honest with you. Now, I have trimmed this down to only a few of the victims, but first up, Bud Scotch here submitted this one. We've got an Argentina, or on board the Argentinian driver there, who looked like he didn't hit the wall, if I'm brutally honest with you. So I did want to look at that a bit further, but then they have this crazy reset. It just resets them randomly in the middle of the chicane, and this causes an absolute crash and a half. I have no idea what Gran Turismo were doing there. But even so, we're going to go on board Prince here as we go through left. You can see there, they're just stuck in the middle. Nowhere to go, not ghosted. A bit of a fail there from Gran Turismo. And you can see, actually, they were very close to the wall there. Look at that one. So close. And remember, there is an invisible wall there, which adds to that gap. So that was a B-rated lobby. We jump next to 4, actually on board 4 as well here as we head into the chicane. Side by side up ahead. Never the best thing in the world to do that, but even so, they sort themselves out. Going into this left-hand, the Porsche goes wide there, and then 4 tries to go on the inside. It sort of doesn't work, and then a massive crash happens there. Now, they had nowhere to go, to be honest with you, did 4, because when everyone slows up, you got cars behind, as we saw there, and the crash just ensues. Now, it's just where one person at the lead of the train has unfortunately just got it slightly wrong, and they go into the chicane, and then the crash continues. No ghosting either, which doesn't help, so the BMW here wants to go through. It says 4 for like, what's that, 1080 spin? I've no idea. We're back in Modern Warfare 2 days. Anyway, that's a DRA rated lobby. Right, what we've got next then. So we're on board a Brazilian driver here. This is submitted by Captain Howdy GT. As we go through the right-hander then, we're going to go on the brakes here, and they, bit of a moment of pushing there, and they're going to continue. Oh, no. You can't do that. That's a push to pass moment there, and they've punted the Renault driver as well. Not good to see in the slightest. Good that they got a 5-second penalty. That is good to see. Well played, Gran Turismo, with that penalty. Right, we go into this next lap then. We're going to go on the brakes. Looking down the inside, looks fair initially. A little bit of tap there. I mean, there are going to be little wiggles there on the American server between Canadians and Brazilians. That was fine, actually, to be honest with you. Nothing bad there as we go. Oh, hello, a little tap there in towards the right. And then, I'm not too sure about that one, to be honest with you. Oh, here comes the Renault. So the Renault wanted a bit of revenge there as well, and the Lamborghini repays that. Again, I don't think you should be doing that, Mr. Brazilian, or Mrs. Brazilian, whoever you are. Literally, I think the Renault, I don't like revenge punts, but I can see why they did it, because you absolutely sent them round early on in the race. We're on board that Renault now, lap number 3, as we continue on. You can see there, the Brazilian kept turning right into them, so the Renault has had enough here. They were going to go for the move on the inside, and that's it. And then, well, yeah, there you can see it right there. They send them off to the realm. So I can understand that completely. I don't like revenge punts. I always say this. I do not like revenge punts, but even so, we can see what was happening there. And it's still not the end of it here. So we're back on board the Brazilian here on lap number 4. There's Captain Howdy, who submitted this clip originally. And once again, the Brazilian just taps the inside of the Ferrari. And then I just think that's a bit of net code there at the end. So not the greatest thing in the world with the net code, but DRB there in terms of the lobby. Right, we are on board Clouds, who submitted this as well. So we're going to go into the Chicane of Death. What's going to happen here? We've got Tyrannosaurus up ahead. Oh, into the first part, into the second part. Ghosting doesn't happen quick enough and sends them round. And that is a brutal crash there. And yeah, they're going to have to get round there. It's not hard. Oh, sorry. It's really hard to actually get round and not impact other people's races there. You can see Clouds actually does that very well, to be honest with you. What actually happened? Tyrannosaurus then goes in towards the chicane, going to clip the left and then send you to the right. So common for that to happen. It's just a bit annoying that the ghosting didn't happen quicker, so Clouds missed it. But it's one of those things. Chicane of Death. Many victims. Right, TCR Geordie Stig submitted this one. We saw them previously. I think there was a Dragon Trail one submission. No, it was Watkins, where they span around, I think, from P1. But even so, we're not involved there. We've got a brake check there from Man With No Mate. You're not going to have any mates if you are brake checking people. To the Ferrari driver, obviously you're going to be very annoyed with this, and they're just going to absolutely plant the brick there. A bit of netcode issues going on. That could just be with the person who submitted this replay, not necessarily the server. And we do have to keep that in mind when I look at these clips. I know some people question it, and they give me too much leeway. I really try and look at this with a very open mind. Clearly a brake check there from the Brit ahead. The French driver's waiting up for them as well. Very confused by that. Is anything else going to happen here? Oh, Spanish driver comes. I know, no idea whether they were going for the punt or not there, but the British sent off again. I think Marquez is going to continue on now. 5-second penalty for the initial punt, which is fair enough in my opinion. Right, what's next? Well, we've got Grey Rock here who submitted this one, and this clip is very unlucky in my opinion. So what we're going to do, we're going to head down towards Cruise Corner, as Lady Tidge has called this. We're going to go on the brakes then as we go to this right-hander. You can see there they take avoiding action for the first car. Unfortunately, the second car hits Grey Rock, and Grey Rock is an innocent victim in this. How do I know that? Well, let's jump on board the Supra, who does hit Grey Rock. So heading down here then, and you can see them on the inside here. The Porsche goes to the inside. They're trying to make the moves there. They've released the brakes, trying to get ahead of the first car. Unfortunately, you take out somebody else. You should wait there in that situation, Apollo, because you did cause the issue. You did get a penalty though, which is good to see. As we go into here then, we're on board a very green Toyota Supra. And go down here, we've got a Porsche who sends it down the inside. Oh, very on the limit there with the send there by Babyleg. And as we continue on, Casper's gone down the inside now. You head towards the S's here, and I think the French driver was looking to get the move done here, but then realised it was a mistake. Casper, of course, doesn't like that. Absolutely plants them into the barrier and sends them for a spin. Now, this sort of revenge punt, I really don't understand. So they've clearly gone for a move, regretted it, and yes, there was a bit of sideways action for Casper. But even so, Casper's now lost all the positions. I don't know why you would want to do that. I don't know if anyone else who's done this before can let me know, because I get very confused by the logic behind it. I'm a very logical person. See there? Fair enough, you know. You think, oh, okay, I've just been trying to take out maybe. I don't know. What I would do there is just take it into your mind and go, okay, if they try and take me out in the next corner, fine. Do whatever the hell you want. But one corner, straight after, they haven't tried to take you out again or wipe you off the circuit. And you can see that the Supra waits up a little bit. Maybe wanted to apologise anyway, so I'm not sure. I'll be honest. I'm not actually sure. Right, we've got E36N Jin who submitted this. We're on board a Rocha A+ right now in the Toyota Supra. And we go towards this kink then. This is a very dangerous kink. Oh, hello, yeah. So somebody brakes. They didn't brake. You don't normally brake for it, which can cause some issues there. But even so, we continue through the corner. Oh, they're riding the... Oh, you don't want to ride the curb there. So they come back. Oh, that is so unlucky. So the Spanish drivers come back on, slightly tagged the Porsche, just misjudged it, and sent them round. You can see that they're embarrassed because they instantly leave. When someone instantly leaves like that, they're embarrassed. When they've not targeted that person, they're embarrassed. So, it's definitely a mistake there by that Spanish driver. Into here we go. Oh, there we go. I talked about the dangerous kink. Well, the German's gone for it. We don't actually have too many clips of victims at this kink, but I've seen many, many victims. I've been a victim myself there. Right, we're going to fast forward a little bit then as we go into the S's here. As we head down towards Cruise Corner, what's going to happen now? Got somebody on the inside, the Italian driver. Goes to move. Oh, nice little cutback here by the German driver. Well played. Oh, I have no idea what they were trying to do there. It was like they were trying to run somebody off. And then Jin again. How is Jin so unlucky? The German shouldn't have done that, to be honest. I have no idea what they were trying to do at the exit of the corner. We're going to continue on. Oh, they hit the... Karma. There we go. Okay, so a bit of a karma there. The Italian goes through at least. And that's a DRB lobby. Right, okay, what's next then? We're on board a Portuguese driver, SL Benfica, submitted by Chaz, who is in P3 right now. We also see Scotty Senior. Nice to see Scotty Senior as well. Right, we're going to head it in towards the S's. Line astern right now, which is nice to see. Going to go into... Oh, yeah, that's... You can't go for a move there. That was never going to work in the month for Sundays. You just punted somebody there, basically, so you really should give that position up. No penalty either, which is very brutal at Gran Turismo. That penalty system does need reviewing. Oh, crash up ahead by the Belgium driver, another victim. Scotty Senior on the right-hand side, and the submission, or submitter, up ahead, the Spanish driver. So we're going to head on towards the last corner. It's a very odd behaviour. That is definitely a push to pass. And the reason I say that is they lifted and didn't hit the brakes. So that is a push to pass in my books. We continue onto the straight, and what they're going to do here then, well, they're going to go for a bit of a brake check. Awful driving there from Benfica. And that was a big lobby as well, A+. Right. So we're on board. Who's this on? We're on board Sice, submitted by Pyro, who's just about actually in P4. We're going to head in towards the... A lot of action in the S's here, isn't there? So we're going to go into here, and there's a bit of a gap there. Unfortunately, they just get a bit of a tag behind. I'm not sure who that was. I think it was Shadow Chef. Again, just an unfortunate mistake there. So they got a bit of a tag or bump behind. It forced increased speed there, which pushed them into Pyro. Racing incident, all said and done, in my opinion. You know, it's one of those that happens sometimes. Gran Turismo physics, ping pong. Anyway, we continue to cruise corner. The Argentinian driver just stops and then plants Pyro. I have no idea why. Was there something said in chat? I don't know. But to me, the Pyro was the complete victim in all of that. Size arguably was the victim as well, because they did get a tag from behind into that corner. And the person who did the tag, it's just an unfortunate little tag. Nothing major. Right, we jump to the final clip then from Dragon Trail Seaside. This was submitted very late. Actually on the wrong form as well. So I wouldn't normally include this, but even so, I just thought it'd be a nice, funny ending here. Chicane to death. It always has many victims. Check out this. 4 cars involved in that one. I don't think the ghosting system could have done any more. Unfortunately for McNabb, that's engine damage for them. And a 4-second penalty. Very brutal, Gran Turismo. Very brutal indeed. Right, what we're going to do now is jump to Daily Race C then, where we've got this submission here from Billy, or Redneck, as we are on board them right now. So we're going to head towards the chicane. I want to look at this a little bit more. So they go down the inside here. Bandit there on the left-hand side. I don't think Bandit was trying to put you there in any way, shape or form. I do think that was a racing incident and just a bit of a misjudgment in my opinion. And the main reason I say that is due to the racing that happens next. I couldn't really see any intent going on there. So in my opinion, that is a racing incident. We carry on with the racing just to prove this point. As we go to the left-hander here then, we're going to go in here. And again, you can see there, Bandit gave you enough room there on the left-hand side. As we head towards this final corner, once again, giving you enough room. If they wanted to pit maneuver you there, they could have easily done that on the right corner. So, racing incident, in my opinion. And I did watch a bit of the racing after. That's a DRB rated lobby. Some good racing there, actually. We jump to the next one then. This is submitted by Sai. Now, I wanted to talk about this a little bit more. So, Sai had to go to the door very quickly, okay, because they had a parcel. So, that's what they did. And what they're doing now is they've hit the pause button. Hit the pause button. The game is not ghosting them. Gran Turismo, why doesn't the game literally ghost you when you hit pause? I don't understand why it doesn't do that, because if you hit pause, you're obviously not doing the inputs. You can see here, everyone is having to take avoiding action. People may have to go to the door. They may have to do something as an emergency. And obviously, if they quit the race, they lose DR. You see there, it's caused a big crash. The second size got back there. That is very frustrating in terms of the game and what a game mechanic should have in. I wanted to show that a bit more, because you could argue, is it Sai's fault? Should he have quit? But you can't pull over because the game will then forcibly remove him. He has to hit the pause button, and unfortunately it crashed there because it went 4 into 1. Doesn't really go. So I really wanted to talk about that a little bit more there. That to me is a game feature that needs to be added, where you hit the pause button, you immediately ghost. It should just be a 1-for-1 link. Can people abuse it? Maybe, but it will also stop people getting punted as well, because they could just hit the pause button. Splash driver there into the back of the GTR. I don't think that was intentional. I think it was just a mistake, in my opinion. We jump to Sai a bit later on in the race, lap number 9. Now, who hasn't done this before then? So we go through the left-hander here. We're going to accelerate out early. We just understeer a little bit. We clip the barrier, and then Sai's trying to capture it. And unfortunately, it doesn't manage to catch it at all and goes for a bit of a spin and a bit of a journey. That's a DRB rated lobby. We are going to see Sai a bit later on as well, with some other very good racing. Right, okay. TG7 actually was in last week's video. This is submitted by Dibdob Seb as we head towards the right-hander. So what's going to happen here then? So we go into here. Just like tag on the Italian there. I would argue that is a racing incident, in my opinion. This gatekeeper comes down the inside there. A little aggressive, but I think, to be honest, a lot was happening there. You just got to continue on in the car as you do in Gran Turismo 7. The 5-second penalty there for TG7. Now, TG7 doesn't like the fact they got a penalty, even though it didn't involve Mr. Gatekeeper, and I think that was just ridiculous behaviour, in my opinion, from TG7 there. And we saw them do a revenge punt last week. They've done another revenge punt, and this time they quit the race. So, yeah, not the greatest thing in the world. Here's Mr. Gatekeeper's perspective then. So you see cars are all over the place right now. And you can see, actually, TG7 was ghosted for a part there as well. So I can understand why Mr. Gatekeeper went for that. I don't see anything wrong with that, in my opinion. I really don't. So the fact that the revenge punt happened is very frustrating. Now, we're on board Mr. Gatekeeper here now as we head towards the right-hander at the end of the lap. Now, the GTR goes down the inside. I can see why they went for that. It's very difficult to do. I mean, that's just, everybody needs to give a bit more space. Mr. Gatekeeper now punting people off. Like, literally, you got punted off wrongly, in my opinion, and then you've wrongly punted a GTR, and I don't understand why there. I couldn't see any reason for it in this particular race. Let's go to the left-hander. Slight tag on the left rear quarter there. Oh, somebody's off on the left-hand side. And as we continue on, what's going to happen here? Again, that is it. I just don't understand it. You literally were a victim, and then you're the cause of more victims. What's the point? I don't understand it. Anyway, we go on board this driver here. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, but this Russian driver. And they punch Rotty off there and send them completely off into the barrier. Now, this is one of those where I wanted to really look what was going on. But first of all, I want to see what would happen because he had a big penalty there, 4 seconds. As we continue on here, you can see the German's going to go down the outside. So you see they're not trying to purposely pump back or do anything else. But the Russian driver is basically saying, no, I don't like you anymore, and continues to punt. I don't understand that either. Surely, like if something had happened once, it's fine. You can see they're trying to race cleanly, so it's not acceptable, in my opinion, to do that. This was the only place I could really find anything, so Rotty's going to go down the inside here. And arguably, I think that's a fair move. Dibdob would be most just saying, oh, you sent it a little bit there, mate, but Dibdob stays ahead, so nothing wrong with that. We go to the left-hander, and Rotty's on the inside. Then what happens here. Rotty's going to lose the rear end a little bit. Clip of the back. Again, that's just an unfortunate racing incident. That's nothing big. So, yeah, that's why I don't like revenge punts. Because I think the bigger picture there is nothing really happened. I just got submitted this one then as we go through left-hander. In an RCZ, by the way. I mean, fair dues. Wanted me to investigate this a little bit more once confirmation. So, see the Ferrari comes back across there and then goes for a spin. Were they trying to take you out? Now, I watched this a couple of times. I don't believe so, and I'm going to explain the reason why. So, first of all, we're going board the Ferrari. Then, looking at it from their perspective, I'm going to point out the really big thing that tells me they weren't trying to do this on purpose. I'm going to head towards the left-hander then. Somebody sent it down the inside. A little bit of tag there. Again, nothing major. They're just trying to slow the car down and get around the corner. I can understand that. They clip the barrier there, and then there's a little tag there. So they go towards the left side. They catch the car. They go towards the right where you are. I don't think they realise you are there at that time, and that's the issue in that situation. Why do I believe they don't think you're there? Because they're in VR. Sometimes you cannot see a lot of what is going on in VR. I've used VR a fair few times now, and your awareness is definitely compromised, in my opinion. So I don't think that was intentional in the slightest. And they lost out the biggest. The Ferries back then submitted this one. They're up ahead. We're on board Storm Dad here. And as you can see, as we're going through this last sector, I mean, yes, okay, they're going into the back of you here. Nothing major, in my opinion. You're just slowing the car down, as you should do. We're going to continue up here, then, on the long straight towards the chicane. So, Nefarious is on the right-hand side, Storm Dad to the left, and we've got another car that goes on the inside of Nefarious back. So, they give them some room there, and then there's a bit of contact, but Storm Dad completely overreacts there. There is no need to do that, and then continues the overreaction, which is what I wanted to point out here. I talked about it in last week's Plebs of the Week, where I want people to stop overreacting. What is the point? And now you're going to take out the Canadian driver who's innocent in all this. Why? Why? It's quite clear and obvious watching the replay that Nefarious was giving space on the inside. Potentially didn't realise you were on the left so much. Fine, small mistake there. But there's no need for this. No need for this at all. You spin round there. Do you get a penalty? I have no idea. I can't remember. No. But you continue on here. Nefarious back still just trying to race on as normal. Didn't try and punt you back at all here. And you continue this. And it's just silly to watch or see, to be honest with you. I always point this out, that the overreactions, they're not needed. Watch the replay afterwards. Watch it and see what happens, because it's very clear to me that that wasn't intentional. How do I know as well? Look at this one then. So I've gone back here. Got the steering input, so they're going left there. It's fine. They're going to go towards the right side. Watch that red dot. It's still turning right, still turning right, still turning right. They released the steering a little bit there to let Cedric go through. They continue to turn right. Not once did they turn left. That is clearly, obviously, a racing incident. Now, I don't normally show these where they're speaking, but even so, Noah submitted this one. I think it's a good one to look at in terms of learning. So, a long train of cars then as we head towards the chicane. Very difficult position to be in here. Everyone's going to hit their brakes, and unfortunately, just that whole old ping-pong physics of Gran Turismo just forces Noah off here. It's very unfortunate in terms of an incident. What I do like to hear, though, is as well the sportsmanship. I don't think you had to do this at all. I think you could have carried on, but they let the Brazilian go there. So, really well played to you on that one. Right, so we go on board Ramos. This is submitted by Sim Stevie. So what's going to happen here then? Oh, Rico turns right, completely stops Ramos from... I hate this. It's like a penalty block. And I really don't understand why people are doing this, because you're just going to aggravate people and arguably get more penalties. Now, what was interesting was I thought, well, why has Johnny Rico done this? Well, this is the reason why. Because literally a lap before, Jan does the exact same thing. So Rico's gone, well, someone did it to me, I'm going to do it to them. So we're going to go back a bit further. Lap 5, where Johnny also had a penalty in P2. And I can see that they did that from that based on this. Lap number 5, look at this. They just let people go. No issues at all. So they did that because somebody else did it to them, which is a bit annoying, but I can understand why they did it. But I'd really like people to stop doing that personally. but again, understandable. So this is submitted by Daddy Uruk then, as we continue on here. Oh, FG there, just being right again. This stupid penalty thing. They also wanted to give me a shout out to the cats, or wanted me to shout out the cats, Tyson and Mochi. So there you go. Thought I'd show that one. But again, penalty blocking. I don't like it. I really don't like it. I didn't see much from FG after that. I know he submitted quite a detailed one there. But even so, we jump now to Kaput Vakens, or Defir here. Defir's on the inside as we head towards turn number 1. Good defensive drive there on the inside. They wanted me to analyze this a bit more. Okay, you can't ask me to analyze it, and I won't put all the analysis in. If everybody asks for it, but I will give pointers. So you see there, I don't know if that was a bit of weaving, but they went towards the right side there. That's absolutely fine. They've taken the racing line now, and all fine in my books as we go through the chicane. So no issues so far. Johnny Vargas still looking to try and get past. A good defensive line there. I don't think you needed to defend the line, personally, into that left-hander. I think you were far enough ahead there that no send would have got past you there. We continue then towards the right-hander. This where you are taking the right line, in my opinion. You are taking that defensive line. Go a bit deep, though. Are you going to bring it back nicely? Yes, you are. Johnny's going to look on the inside, though. So you left the gap open there, but you've got the better run, which is understandable. So you went defensive then, taking the race line. All good so far as we go into this right-hander. Team Netco is a bit of an issue here. So I'm not sure whether you're on Wi-Fi or whether it's the server. If you are on Wi-Fi, do expect cars to move a little bit more when it just loses that, I don't know what to call it, connection potentially, or a drop of packets, should I say, is packets of data. We continue on through then. So I'm not seeing anything bad here at the moment in terms of any issues from your side, Defir. So we're going to head towards turn number 1 then. Again, a little bit of a wiggle there as we go into here. And this is where I think the big issue actually happens there. So I reckon you may have lagged on their screen. I don't reckon it's server related. I reckon it's your internet specifically. It bounced Johnny Vargas off. Now, they will have thought that you've absolutely sent it or done something weird there. So what they're going to do now is punt you. And I think that's the reason for that, in my opinion. But that's not your fault. That is not your fault, and they shouldn't take it out on you. What they should do is watch the replay, see that you've just spiked outwards, and then go, okay, yeah, it was netcode. Let's continue on racing and having a good race. Because you're having a good race at that point. And you can see here, you're going to go for a spin. And there's no easy way to catch that. I know you asked that question, but it's a case of just let it spin and then catch it. Just due to the weight transfer in Gran Turismo 7, it's very hard to do that. Right, funny bug here. From Defir. Look at this. We're on board the German driver who overtakes one person there. Now he's going to overtake Defir while on the grid. So the AI, Gran Turismo's AI, has decided it wanted to overtake a few people. And Benny now is in P9. Very bizarre situation. And it doesn't overtake anybody else. Gets very close to the Spanish driver up ahead. No idea what's going on now. Somebody else has submitted a bug to me, just privately in DMs, and it's a very similar situation, so I will report this on as a bug and see if anything can be done about that. Right, in towards the right hander we go here, but a Scotch. And this is some great racing of the week now. Okay, we've done all the plebs of the week. This is some great racing. So D Grace on the right-hand side in a Porsche. And I see a TT in a Porsche racing at Watkins. Going to head towards the right-hander. Little bit of a tag there. Nothing major. They gave you just enough room on the left. Rubbing like that will happen in Gran Turismo because obviously we're playing a video game. It's one of those things that does happen. So brilliant racing so far as we continue on through. And again, shout out to both of you for using different cars other than the NSX, which I think is going to still be top right now. I haven't actually checked all week. So we get on to the start finish straight. Deep Grace goes towards the right-hand side here. Good defensive line, clear intent there as we head towards turn 1. Again, leaving some space, so remembering what happened previously. Look at this, perfect amount of space given. Going to here, side by side. Beautiful defensive drive there from Grace as we continue on here on the final lap. So the TT eventually caught up here of Butterscotch. So we saw what happened on the previous lap there, but it got very close here. We're going to go towards the left-hand side then. Look at that brake market. Again, slight tag. I don't think that's intentional. Again, I think they just got it slightly wrong with a misjudgment. People can make mistakes in that situation. That is just a mistake in my book. Again, good racing still happening there. They still left you enough room as we continue on towards the line. So well played to both of you there, D Grace and Butterscotch. Really nice to see indeed. And what we're going to do next is watch an even bigger, better race now. So that was good racing. This is unbelievable racing right now. So on board here, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm going to call you the Swift driver right now because I have no idea how to say that name. A little bit of tag in the last corner, nothing major. Side-by-side racing. Britstag goes for the bump draft on the GTR. We've got Sai on the inside. This was submitted by Sai as well as we head towards turn number 1 then. As we go through here, look at the Swift driver now. Not 1, not 2, but 3 positions in one corner. A beautiful move. And look how tight they try and keep it to make sure they get past clean. Wonderful driving. Amazing driving there from the Swift driver. Now some smart driving from Sai as well. Goes for the bump draft, trying to break away. Good, smart racing now. Break away. Don't force the issue into the chicane. Has a little bit of a nose there, maybe just to try and scare them, but even so, beautiful strategic driving there from Sai. So we jump later on lap number 7, and here we've got two NSXs, a Swift and a Sylvia, racing towards turn number 1. And we've got the NSX here going down the inside then. Looking, do they give enough room to Swift? They do give enough room there. Mr. Fun Racing gets on the inside as well, going for a 2-for-1 then. Beautiful awareness there from Brit Stag. Allows Mr. Fun Racing to go. Now, this is fun racing, isn't it? This is great stuff to watch then as we continue on here. We're going to fast forward a little bit more then as we head there. Side over to the right side. I think you could have come over a lot earlier there, Side. Just a bit of a pointer there if you wanted it. If you didn't want it, just tell me to shut up. It slows you down so much in the chicane. That brings Mr. Fun Racing back into it. Brit Stag down the inside of the red NSX. And as we go through this right-hander, this is good racing. Look at that. Everyone giving everyone enough space here. As we head towards the left-hand side, defending this time, I do think you should have defended. That's beautiful defensive line as we go through here. Mr. Fun Racing getting very close in that NSX. The Swift is right behind us, by the way. Just keep that in mind as well as we continue on. This is a 4-way scrap then for P3 right now. Mr. Fun Racing looking down the inside of the Sylvia as we head onto the brakes. A lovely move, gets it stopped there. Oh, a little bit of contact, nothing major, leaves lots of space on the exit. That is absolutely fine in my opinion. As we head towards the left-hander then, Sai sends it back down the inside, stops it very nice indeed on the exit then. More space given to everyone. This is how Gran Turismo should be. And as the name suggests, Mr. Fun Racing UK, this is fun racing. This is really good to watch actually. I watched all of this when I had a look at the replay. We're going to head in towards the final corner then, and Sai keeps position, however, understeers, as does Mr. Fun Racing. That gives Brit Stag the big old run here then. But I did talk about the Swift earlier on. Well, the Swift is right behind. Let's jump to the Swift then. They're going to go down here for a Moses maneuver, but everyone comes very close. And look at that for sportsmanship. Realizes what's going to happen, hits the brakes early to avoid any crashes. Oh, it's just awesome. I really wish I had your PSN here, Mr. Swift driver. But even so, this is unbelievable racing as we continue on now onto here. And Sai and Mr. Fun Racing, they're side by side once again up ahead. As what we will do is fast forward a little bit because this is just a straight line. Sai, look at that. Sai backed out of that in towards the chicane. I fast forward a little bit, but you just saw that up ahead. Mr. Fun Racing goes a little bit deep then as we continue on then. Sai goes towards the outside, giving room to Mr. Fun Racing to come back on the circuit. They're now side by side once again. Good, clean racing. The Swift very much involved in the action. Brit Stag has legged it right now. So it's now a 3-way fight rather than a 4-way fight. And the Swift around the outside. Is it going to work? Not quite then. But I also to see a Swift racing, actually, because I know we don't see these cars racing too often due to the meta cars existing. But as we go in towards the right-hander, then they're still side by side. I mean, if you're not enjoying this racing, this is what Gran Turismo is about. This kind of racing. It really, really, really is. What we will do is fast forward a bit more then to Mr. Fun Racing UK on the inside. Swift trying to follow Sai now around the outside. Is that going to work is the question. Not quite. Mr. Fun Racing defends there beautifully as we continue on out of here and head up towards the left-hander. Gonna look down the inside there. Sai gives him room. Oh, okay. Yeah, brilliant stuff then. So Sai does defend that. The Swift now going down the inside of the NSX here on lap number 9. I mean, this is just awesome to watch. And thank you for this submission, Sai. I really do appreciate it. Ran off wide there. So unfortunately for Sai, going to get a penalty. But my word, what fantastic racing in that lobby. Shout out to absolutely everybody in that one. And that is going to be it for this video, folks. I do hope you have enjoyed this one. Different things there, what we can learn from in terms of reactions, dodgy ghosting, penalties, etc. And also some fantastic racing at the end. And just seeing how fun it can be. As always, if you did like it, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and do check out those 2 videos there, including last week's Plebs of the Week, which was actually this week, but we should be on Sundays going forward. Thank you again, as always, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.